So I went on and put the text up here. There's several. So we'll do the first section at least. We'll do the first set of 5 problems. So we'll do it a little bit differently. I want y'all to try. So we'll look at the first question. The first question is, which of the following statements about the effect of temperature on DNA production is best supported by figures 2 and 3? So I want y'all to see individually if you can get to the answer. So let's see who can get there. Figure out the answer first. Have y'all got an answer for this? So, why would you say C? Well, so on figure 3, so 35 degrees, we're right up here at this here, yes? Well, for both of these here, it increases and then decreases, yes? So can we say, what about A and B? A, it only increases from 30 to 45 degrees. Is that true? No. Does it only decrease from 30 to 45 degrees? So DNA production peaks, so it's either peaking at 35 degrees or 45. So at 45, we're down here. Is that a peak? So at 35, it's up at 30, yes? Over here at 35, it's up at? So C is the correct answer, yeah. Because for this one here, we were really just looking at the 2 charts and seeing do they match up. All right, number 2. Which of the following statements about the effect of temperature on DNA production is best supported by figures 1 through 3? So go on and try to see if you can figure this one out. So, 1 through 3. Okay. So incandescent temperature has no impact on DNA production. So if it doesn't have any impact at all, would the line change? Well, no, because if it doesn't have an impact, it doesn't change it. So is this graph changing across these 3 as we increase the temperature? So does temperature have an impact on it? So we can say that J is not true because there is an impact. Even though the start and end up at about the same place, because we're talking about the across the whole spectrum from start to end. So as temperature increases, DNA production increases. So across the whole thing, does it always increase? No. So H, as increment temperature increases, DNA production increases then. So does it go up at first? Because we have that little bump, then it goes up, and then what does it do? So the imp goes up, and then, because DNA production, so temperature increases, DNA production decreases. So it's just saying it's going to constantly go down, which it doesn't do. It actually does go up and then goes down. Now, it doesn't do it exactly kind of like we think of up and then down. And I can see where it's kind of misleading, especially with figure 1, where it does a little bump and then up, down. So that is actually what they're looking for. Question 3, the saline, or whatever that is, counter registers 5,000 counts per minute at 10 degrees Celsius and 50 degrees Celsius. Which of the following conclusions about incubation temperature and DNA production can be supported by figures 1 and 3? So very low increment temperatures results in low DNA production. Right? So what are the two temperatures we're looking at? 10 and 50. So let's look at those two specifically, because we can look at those, yes? So at 50, we are right here, yes? So would we consider that a high value or a low value? Oh, okay. At 20, we are at the same, yes? So, I mean, on a whole, we could look more into it to see if 5 is actually high or low, but we do know one thing, they're at the same level, yes? So, because C and D, because we're saying very high temperatures result in low, and high DNA production. So C and D is really, they're both saying kind of opposite. One's high, one's low. One's low, one's high. Very high and very low incubate temperatures both resulted in low DNA production. It is A. It is A. And especially on some of these here, look to see if they contradict themselves or contradict what the graph is giving. So for number 4, come on. Okay, move that. There we go. Consider the 3 students' hypotheses on the effect of temperature on DNA production. Based on the results of the study, which student's prediction, if any, was correct? So looking at these results, so we either say 1, 2, 3, or none. So none of them match, should overlap. So that means we need to go back and look at students 1, 2, and 3's hypotheses. So here we go. Student 1 hypothesized that cells will make more DNA as temperature increases. Student 2 hypothesized that the cells will make more DNA as temperature increases to a point, but then they will begin to make less DNA as temperature continues to increase. Or student 3 hypothesized that cells will make less DNA as temperature increases. Is there any of those three that we know for sure is not right? Three, that the cells will make less DNA as temperature increases. So does it decrease at all across the whole thing as temperature increases? Right. Because, I mean, according to them, it would really mean that at lower temperatures it should be at a higher value, yes? Is that true? Well, I mean, at 30 degrees or 35 degrees, it's at its highest point, isn't it? Well, that kind of contradicts it, doesn't it? Because really at 0 or 5, it should be at the highest if that were true. Student 2? Because student 2 hypothesizes that the DNA will, as temperature increases to a point, will increase to a point and then begin to make less, yes? Because there is a point where it does make the most, which is where? 35 degrees, isn't it? Yep. And figure 2, because that's where it does hit the max and then it goes down. So which one's correct? So it is G. Number 5, student 1 suggests that the cells would produce more DNA as temperature increase. The results of figure 2 provided with which piece of information that supported the student's hypothesis? DNA production remains stable between 20 and 30 degrees. DNA production decreased between 20 and 30 degrees Celsius. DNA production increased between 20 and 30 degrees Celsius. DNA production increase between 20 and 30 degrees Celsius, and then decrease between 30 and 40 degrees Celsius. So what are the temperatures for figure 2? 20, 25, all the way from 20 to 35, yes? Is 30 to 40 on figure 2? So would including 30 to 40 degrees really be a part of it? No. Now also, what is student 1's hypothesis? It's going to continue to increase, yes? So even if we did include 30 to 40 degrees, it would be decreasing. It is C. But even if we did include 30 to 40 degrees Celsius, it is decreasing on that amount, which would contradict him. And even if we looked at A and B, A, it remains stable. Well, the figure says otherwise. It says it's increasing. But also, his hypothesis says that it should be increasing, not remaining stable. So it contradicts both. It's out. A and D out. And B, it's not decreasing between those amounts, it is. So B contradicts the table. So it is C. Questions on any of this here? Y'all kind of feel comfortable with these? I'm not going to torture y'all with